statement today, and they're well behind the overall standings. But we talked about who's the best team in Emea. Is it clearly Ascent? Is it the Kansas City Pioneers and their consistency? Well, to be honest, Aurora's making a case right now for them to be the best team in Europe. What they've done in not only playing an aggressive edge playstyle, but doing it consistently. I mean, they've been top 3, top 4, I think, multiple games in this series. It's really, really impressive what I've seen from Aurora. So I got to agree with that and double down. I think Aurora's been impressing today. I'm interested to see where this zone pulls, though, because I think they will prefer a northern zone so they can really play that true edge playstyle.
Yeah, very true, especially seeing how Aurora kind of had to get out of their comfort zone and play within the circle, looking like the last circle favored them over in their POY and chip ball. Now we're going to see where this final circle is going to take us in our final game on Storm Point and in the Emea region. Always nice to see a lot of these squads change things up, even if it comes to bringing in a different legend into the composition, like Catalyst that Aurora has been rocking.
Like to see the diversity. Aurora, formerly known as Team Empire, the first team to run a Mad Maggie Fuse team composition. Pulled out Bangalore when no one else was really doing it. Bloodhound when no one else was really doing it. Aurora's not afraid to change up their play style, change their team comp, and I love that they're the first team to be running Catalyst so consistently and with so much success. I know we've seen CLG do it in North America and a few other teams, but no one has found as much success as Aurora has.
Yeah, you know, and just to put it on the record, it's not super surprising, obviously, to see the Mad Maggie. They've been rocking the Mad Maggie for, what, about a year now at this point? So it's not something that they're just bringing out of left field. We were expecting it, but the fact that other teams in Emea have started to incorporate the Mad Maggie has been even more impressive to me because we've been seeing so much of the Seer, so much of the Horizon. So that's not what's surprising at all. Of course, we have seen that composition, but it's the fact that other teams are now starting to catch on to change things up themselves in their own team comps.
Yeah, that's a good point. What it's doing for the overall meta, it's shifting things quite a bit. And I mentioned it last game. I've been harping on it quite a bit, but I really do believe it. I think Game 5 was monumental in terms of what it's going to do for the overall meta, the shift that I think it'll bring. I think you're going to see more and more teams continue to play these aggressive team comps. And I think the very aggressive Bloodhound team comp that we saw back in like Season 4, Season 5, and that play style might be back. Edge fighting is still well alive, and it's showing today as Echo, speaking of Edge, find themselves in a fight against Game Ward. It looks like that fight will not continue.
Look, I love bathing in the booth sometimes. Got to give love to all the Bloodhound mains out here. I stand with you guys out here. And as Echo Esports haven't been having the best day, they're also at risk of getting regulated into the qualifiers. So having these 50-50s be a threat to them is very scary in this final game. They want to make sure that they can get as much loot as possible for making the rotation out of Down Beast.
Yeah. Well, as things slow down here a little bit, I got to take a moment for an educational moment. For all the thousands of people and everyone watching at home, because it was a travesty that what I just saw on screen. These are professional players and they don't know this. So you know the dragons that fly and drop loot?
Yeah, the flyers?
Yeah, the flyers, thank you.
Yeah.
You just saw, I don't remember what player it was on Nightmare Esports, take one out. All you got to do is shoot it once, get it to flap its wings with one bullet, get it to flap its wings, wait for 3 flaps, and then shoot it again with 1 bullet. You don't got to waste 2 clips like my man on Nightmare Esports just did. You just wait for 3 flaps of the wing, and then shoot it 1 time. That's the algorithm, if you will. Shout out to my man Blaze who taught me that. But it drives me crazy when I see people like unloading clips.
You know, it's actually so interesting you say 3 flaps. I thought it was just shooting at the crate itself, the death box. Oh,
nope.
Well, let me hold that thought real quick. E6, though, living in actually a lot of trouble right now. Slayer's now having to move in, trying to get into position to get that res. But IG already getting contested on the outskirts of wall.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Element 6 out. Okay, see you later, Element 6. I mean, gosh, such an underwhelming showing from them yet again. It's really unfortunate. That's not the showing that they wanted. We'll see if they can clean things up because they're going to have to these last few days. But also, Invictus. I mean, Invictus came out swinging their last Pro League day in this matchup, and they got second place. They were right behind Gaming Gladiators. We thought that they were redefining the meta themselves with that crypto playstyle, the early rotate for intel. Noises came into the interview so confident that that was the right playstyle, and they might have to rethink things. I mean, Invictus has had a really underwhelming day, and we haven't seen a lot of them on screens. We don't know what's going wrong, but they're down to a team of 2 here. They have to somehow work their way out of this and see if they can bounce back and perform here in Game 6. They need it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you highlighted them because they're sitting 6th in the overall leaderboards in the entire Emea region, but today specifically, they are sitting in 9th, so they are within that top 10, but something, that we're usually used to seeing from IG is to be in that top 4 spot. They go in for a Skyward Dive, looking at VZN as Nags falls incredibly low. He needs to reset, but with these early rotations, we've seen how it's incredibly detrimental for the squads that have high ground over them.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for the clarification. I thought IG was way further down the standings, so good call that they're 9th overall. I don't have the standings up next to me. So we'll see if they can perform here in this last game and still kind of take home a top 5, a really respectable top 5. As we're on board with Navi, a team that really is in that category of need to perform, on risk of being relegated. Nice fight for them as they picked up Dazo, which is really interesting. This team historically has been all a CIS team. Dazo, British player, I believe. So for the first time, Navi, Sanya, and Rugby, former CHMK championship winning team, actually breaks the CIS mold by picking up a Western European player.
Somebody needs to help Zain. Zain has had a pop-off day right now, but he's in a lot of trouble. He's in between two other squads. The 30-30 shots are landing. He has some natural cover, but the Seer tactical is gonna grief him in the middle of that recovery. Look at this. He's literally playing a scene from The Matrix, dancing around the missile swarm, dancing around two other squads shooting at him. He's literally around three other squads that have made their rotation into the wall super early. And a fourth one is now making their appearance.
Yeah, and he is so happy that this wall is as tall as it is because no one can climb over it and grief him. And I don't know if that team's not running Horizon, but they easily could have just Horizon lifted up. More Seer Qs are going to come. This is so tragic. Zain is absolutely in shambles right now with Seer Q upon Seer Q absolutely raining on his parade, his ability to revive.
Seer Q, and then the Horizon Gravity Lift to try to grief Zain in the middle of trying to get that res. It missed slightly. Let's see if he can actually pull us off right now because there was another Seer to their south. Missile Storm coming in. That's probably gonna get it. No, it's not gonna get that knock onto BJ. I was a little worried right there. He could try to pull off the Phoenix kit, but Zain says, look at me. Don't look at BJ real quick. He tries to go for a shield swap, and they know how much health he has after that scan.
And it looks like he gets the res off and continuous Syracuse. I just don't know why Navi hasn't pushed this. I mean, maybe they know something we don't, but they have a 3v1. It's just a matter of flying, picking up those kills quickly, and then work your way right back to that building. I mean, I feel like it's pretty cookie cutter, pretty simple push, but instead, they're going to let VZN actually lift their way out of this situation. We'll see if they'll do it to success.
There is that squad that's on the high ground right above that zip line, I believe, so Zane's actually going to back up in time. Let's see if he can safely get the res. It's LFO Forever, who they thought actually gave up that space, now cleaning up VZN. What a terrible last game for VZN after an insane performance in that last game. Now, LFO Forever are going to walk away with some of that extra loot, but this is great news for some of our squads that are looking to claim that #1 spot because VZN were in that top 3 after that last game.
So VZN, top 3 team, as you said, Vicky, out of this game. That opens the door wide open for Vexed in 4th, still alive, currently sitting in Stormcatcher, playing Edge. Aurora with their rotation, V2, Nightmare. So same story here with a similar zone that we saw in game number 4. A wall finish or a northern zone means all these same teams will be playing Edge. Fire Beavers finds themselves in a fight against Echo Esports in Checkpoint with Game Ward nearby. So that's what's going on elsewhere on the screen. We'll keep you all updated every step of the way as we take a look and can't watch everything, obviously. But guess what? You can watch everything with Multiview. If you haven't had a chance to check out Multiview yet, maybe you're new to watching competitive Apex, make sure to hit the Command Center button on Twitch. And again, it's available only on Twitch, but it's a really, really remarkable feature where you can watch any of your favorite teams. You can watch multiple POVs. And obviously on the main broadcast, we'll get you covered with the overall flip around. But right now, on board with LFO Forever.
Yeah, very beautiful feature exclusive to the ALGS. Always nice to use that so that way I can take some notes for my own gameplay in terms of comms, so that way I can know a better ways to ILG, or rather LG, my team. Love to lead my team in general. But as we take a look at LFO Forever, they're going to be hiding behind this rock. They're going to be able to actually be safe with the Watson fences. A great news for them and a great position with their composition. As we tune into Fire Beavers, Rolling Thunder going to get called in. They're playing on the other side, on the outskirts of the circle, right here over by Checkpoint. There's going to make a lot of noise for the squads that are going to be able to circle keep them, looking at Game Work who rotates away from North back.
Fire Beavers, oh my gosh, the beams and the flatline accuracy. My flatline doesn't do that. Taskmaster pushing up, and it's last but not least, see you later. Harold, last member alive, is going to get taken out. It actually was Bardo. Nice job by the Fire Beaver squad. Meanwhile, Vexed Gaming needs to go big. We said it. They got to do it again, and they will. They take out MG Clutch. Will Vexed Unlucky get the heal off? Yes, he will. Gold Knockdown Shield will help. And just like that, Vexed is still alive and has an opportunity to go back-to-back here with a great performance.
Yeah, and playing on the outskirts of the circle right here, too. They're looking for any stragglers right behind them. 17 squads left in this final lobby here. And Vex Gaming are looking beautiful when it comes to the loot. They already got the red Evo shield ready. They got the KP already settled. They've got some damage on the board, as well as the purple Evo and the gold Evo shield for them to work with. So great loot all around for this squad to rotate into the next circle.
That's right. Corpa's right nearby, actually above them in the ridge. And here comes and that's a wise decision to take that Horizon Q just to get intel on that Corpa team, keep them at bay. And gosh, is Corpa next? Is this list going to continue to game 6? I mean, geez, they already took out one member of one team and they got a couple kill points along the way, or sorry, 1 kill point along the way. Corpa now just says, we don't want anything to deal with this. Vex is too untouchable right now.
Now they're like, you know what? You want Thunderwatch? All right, you can take that. I heard the gravity cannon, the yeet cannon, just send them forward. Vex is like, all right, well, they're gone. Let's take some med kits while we rotate through the inside of the circle. We're going to cut our losses. They definitely wanted that extra KP because that would have been free KP since they already took a member out from Corpus. So they're forced to play that out as a duo. Probably won't be able to get that banner. We're going to tune into the rest of the squads that have already made their way into the wall, looking at where the circle is going to be pulling. We still got some squads like Nightmare, Fire Beavers making their rotation on the edge of the circle.
Yeah, and if it's possible, sorry to put you on the spot, production, but if we take a look at the overhead map and show y'all exactly what, kind of what we're seeing in terms of rotations, in the grand macro of this game, it's going to be Vex having to go all the way north and making a deep, deep zone rotation through High Point. Going to try and find some syringes on the way, which are extra valuable, given that Unlucky has a gold knockdown shield, or gold Evo shield right now. So that'll be a really, really deep High Point rotation for them. Meanwhile, Aurora, V2, Nightmare Esports, and Fire Beavers alongside Corpa still playing Edge on the south side of the map. So expect those teams to run into each other momentarily. And something tells me this is the zone that Aurora dominated. Here's that overhead map. Aurora will be the last team standing because they played this zone to perfection in Game 4. When we thought we couldn't one-up Game 4, Vex somehow did it in Game 5. I mean, this has just been the most entertaining series of Apex I've ever watched, Vicky.
It's almost like every single time we talk about record-breaking numbers, every team in Emea is like, wait, hold my cereal real quick. I totally got you on something even better. And Aurora being around this beacon means that there's probably going to be some early contention from other squads that want to get the same set of information. You can see the scan coming out. They don't have the seer, so they don't have the information if another squad is going to be rotating right behind them. I do see some pings, so it looks like the stragglers of Corpa that wrapped around past command center may be coming up on Aurora.
Aurora now, Vex now finally completing that all the way north rotation. That's going to be difficult for them. We'll keep a close eye on them. Meanwhile, Aurora find themselves, speaking of Aurora, back to this high ground spot that we saw Optic win their game in North American Pro League last time, but obviously this is a much more northern zone. Here comes Aurora. We talk about how good they are on Edge, and Corpa is going to get melted and deleted. See you later, Zerafer. The Slovakian will fall, and Aurora's not done yet. The aggression, the movement speed boost of Bloodhound plus the movement speed boost of Bangalore when fired upon gives them all types of aggressive advantage. And just like that, Aurora will clean wipe Corpa, ending their spree, and Corpa still at risk of relegation.
And the scan, too, to know that there was just one last member of Corpa left before telling him, why are you running? Gonna clean him up as a last member of Corpa. Vex Gaming now, with that long rotation towards the north side of the wall, they're pinging some of the other squad mates that are already inside those buildings, probably on the high ground, that could circle keep Vex. And they don't want to make any more noise because they're not in that circle even after they get out of the circle. So they're going to take the skyward dive instead, which could be a little risky with so many squads already inside of the buildings of wall.
Yeah, exactly. This is that high risk, high reward play. Unlucky as Valk, down to 20 HP, might get knocked and somehow still up, but start a fight. Doesn't have a charge rifle, so it's going to be hard to hit these shots. You got to lead them, and somehow they'll survive. We'll see if Vex will land. I'd love to switch back over to Vex to see where they're going to drop, because this is a high risk, high reward situation for them. They're going to take this low ground, and they'll get positioning, but they got to hit reset somehow. It's not looking good for Vex.
Oh, the EMP now coming in as well from the other squad on the outskirts. They're sharing this building with another squad on the high ground, and there's that other squad looking at the mouth of the door. Vex Gaming forced to go into these corners. The arcs are coming in. After that EMP, they know how many members of Vex Gaming are left inside, and it doesn't look great here, Fallout. Vex Gaming in a lot of trouble.
That's right, all up to Matafe, and see you later. Vext is out in 14th, so after a historic, record-breaking Game 5, they'll fall early here, and they will be in the maybe top 7 if they can stay there. Horizon in 9th place, one of those teams that's trying to take their spot.
Horizon with the reset as well, going in for that shield swap real quick before another squad gets involved into this fight. But with the Watson and the Crypto being part of their lineup here of the team composition, they clean up one last member of whatever squad that was on the outskirts trying to shoot at them from that building. But Horizon in a really good spot with all the shield swaps to work with here on those death boxes.
Fire Beavers in 4th. They've been consistent, but only one member alive for this team, and we know that Aurora's nearby. There might be some friendly fire. CIS versus CIS taking out Fire Beavers here. As Aurora still alive right to his left. He's going to get spotted out, I believe. But guess what? Aurora has their hands full. They have a fight against V2, and they're going to take it with aggression yet again. Here comes the push. Smoke can be out. No, actually, no, he does have a Digi-Threat, so that is a huge advantage. Digi-Threat plus Bangalore Smoke. That's why you run this combo with a Bloodhound and a Bangalore, and they are dominating. 2 members of V2 are out. The last one certainly will follow soon.
And Maliwan also has the Digi-Threat to work with on his R9 here too, so it just beautiful equipment for Aurora to work with, aside from the team composition working in favor for them to get those scans through the smoke grenades. Here comes Ranches now, taking a nice little left angle. They're utilizing the mobile respawn beacon for some makeshift cover. They're ignoring the other squad shooting at them to the right because they're looking to clean up B2. They wiped them out. 12 squads left, and Aurora are popping off to stay on top.
And these Emea teams, Vicky, are just taking turns popping off. Aurora does it in game 4. Vex does it in game 5. And Aurora says, hey, we'll take over from here. We got this again in game 6. This time it's their turn. 5 kills to their name. Wow. I mean, I just can't believe what we're seeing here. Redefining what edge fighting is and redefining the current meta is Aurora. Catalyst, Bloodhound, and Bangalore is their team composition, as Aurora is going to be able to hit reset, and they'll continue their run here in game 6.
Let's not forget, before this game, they're currently sitting in number 1 with 68 points with all the extra KP, but they were sitting with just a 3-point lead before this game had even started, with Nightmare Esports with 58 points right behind them. So now they're building up that gap between themselves and the rest of this lobby, and they're trying to take this W. With 10 squads left here, they need to plan their next move to get into this next circle, because it's going to be difficult to get through that wall.
That's right, Aurora here, making the rotation up. And through. Which team is next in front of them? Well, it's all teams in zone. Alliance is outside of the zone currently in the southeast side of the wall. Game of Drones is in the first building closest to Aurora on the southwest side of wall. So that's the next team, and this is exactly what Aurora did last game. They're repeating the same exact strategy, taking this building with Catalyst as well. Here we go. Here comes the push, and Aurora is going to do it again. The early damage is done. They're going to connect for a first knock on Rondon. It's Game of Drones, the same exact team. You'd think they would have learned their lesson, Vicky.
Oh, Game of Drones. Alliance also sharing up this building here. Aurora with the Catalyst has been able to put in so much work. Look at the wall getting set up in the mouth of the door right here as Ranches goes in for a reset with the shield battery. They're getting pinged by another squad that's holding the other side of the building. They may actually get involved for a third party. I believe it's Navi that was holding onto that building. Aurora takes to the high ground, and now with this high ground positioning, they're going to be able to actually scoot and loot and clean up anybody else that's trying to contest them.
That's right. I love how Aurora plays this. Notice what they do. I mean, they initiate the fight, they get the first knock or two, and then they just back out because they know a third party's going to come. They're anticipating the next third party. They're playing chess while every other team is playing checkers, and Aurora is doing it to perfection. Guess what? All 3 members of this Aurora squad are queen pieces because they cannot be touched. They are unstoppable. As I say that, the Maliwan does go down, and it's going to be all up to Cleve, the last member alive of this team.
Cleve backed up just in time here too, and this is how serious it is to deal with these Seers. Another squad kind of climbing up from underneath the low ground. Cleve gets cleaned up, and it's Scars who were waiting patiently by with white Evil Shields in the late game. Are you kidding me? Now they're gonna get melted, but this was detrimental for Scars. They needed to get the placement points, but they won't be able to get all the KP that they needed.
That's right. Nice job by Navi. The last team remaining when the dust settles is the team that needed it the most. I mean, again, currently in 22nd through 30th place. The teams that place 22nd through 30th will be relegated to Challenger Circuit, or at least to compete against the top Challenger Circuit team, for a spot in the Split 2 Pro League, and Navi currently is one of them. This is a Game 6 where they were in 12th or 13th place that they needed to go big, and this is a good start for them.
So many of these squads, like Scars, needed to do so well because they're also in that relegation spot. Currently now, Navi left, Game Ward as well. Horizon, LFO Forever, Navi, Game Ward, and Reply Totem are the last squads remaining right here. 5 squads left in this final game, in this final circle.
And here's what's interesting. The top 5 teams in standings, Vexed, Aurora, Fire Beavers, and the rest are out. So Game Ward in 6th place is the highest standings team right now. This is huge if you're a Game Ward fan. If you're a fan of French teams, one of the top French teams we have in Apex, well, Vive le Français, we have Game Ward right now with an opportunity to go big in Game 6, to win another one, and to secure a top 3 finish.
And it's so huge, too. I know you were talking a lot about our other members, YOLO out here, Aimbot, but Psychop has been having such a pop-off day. I gotta highlight it again here, as Game Ward are gonna be able to rotate over to the side and not get involved in a lot of the chaos happening inside this building. They have a lot of the information from the scan, and you see that Aimbot's got the Beast of the Hunt activated. With a nice gold R301, right now, Game Ward have all the tools necessary to try to take this dub.
That's a good point. In zone, well positioned, and they're going to want to just slowly inch their way in. This is where we saw Ascend in the last Emea, or one of the last Emea competitions, take high ground with a Newcastle ultimate, which got them the win. Well, Game Ward doesn't have that same luxury as the teams are already there. And of course, they're running that Bangalore Bloodhound team comp, so they're playing their comp to perfection right now. Guess who it is? It's gonna be Na'Vi. Na'Vi takes the high ground. Look how many shield swaps they have to work with. You wonder who has Godspot right now? Well, it's Na'Vi, certainly with the win condition and Godspot and high ground, but it's gonna be Game Ward who's gonna have to find a way to use that Bangalore ultimate if they can. I don't see a Watson pylon down, I don't think. So, no Watson in Na'Vi's hands. That'll be an opportunity for the Bangalore ult to come through and help them win.
Yeah, that Rolling Thunder would definitely force him off of this high ground right here. They have line of sight of the squad that's playing underneath them. I believe that's Reply Totem. Game Ward on the back end who are not poking at Na'Vi just yet. But Na'Vi also have a lot of these shields that they can just rotate through. Look at this. They're dropping them, and they're going to be able to pick them up just like it's candy.
That's the reality, is that Rolling Thunder's not going to do anything. You can drop a Rolling Thunder, but at the end of the day, you still shield swap, so the damage isn't going to do much. It'll tickle them, if even that. But the big thing it will do, it'll stun them, but it also stuns yourself, and it also stuns your teammates. So if that was not the case, I think that'd be an opportunity for them to push while they were stunned, or at least slowed. But I don't think it's worth it. I think Na'Vi still has complete control of this game here, Becky.
And Horizon also have the crypto still available, so wondering how that's going to play into the Seer ults that are going to be unleashed at the very end here. Final circle closing in less than 5 seconds for these squads.
Ultimate accelerant here.
So taking a look here as we have Dazo on high ground. Playing with Sonya and Rugby, a big roster change. Picking up Dazo again, that's huge. First time ever, CHMK, former squad, Na'Vi has actually played with an UK or Western European player. So that's a big decision. Will that decision pay off for them? Will they show some incremental improvement here in this lobby, in this game? As we're currently watching. Dazo, Sonya, and Rugby on high ground. We got Horizon below them, Totem nearby, Game Ward on the outskirts, and one lone member of LFO ratting. It's Light trying to secure a top 2 finish and some placement points.
Yeah, it's going to be the crypto. Like, he could try to grief them. I've heard a crypto drone get deleted right before this fight, but here they go as they try to take to the skies. Game Ward has them all in their line of sight. Na'Vi getting absolutely deleted. That black hole pulling Rugby in. He's forced to drop from the high ground here. Huge arcs are coming in as Totem also finds some of these screens.
We didn't see it entirely, but it was going to be, I think, Reply Totem who pushed him. Psychop did it at the same exact time, and guess who's going to take control? We predicted it like foreshadowing. It was Game Ward with high ground control and the opportunity to win this game. They are single-handedly bullying their way to winning in this lobby and going huge in game number 6.
EMP after EMP, though, you get the first crypto drone deleted, and Game Ward see that it's just one rat on the bottom, but Game Ward are not going to give up this high ground. They don't have the ability to easily get onto the high ground after utilizing that gravity lift from YOLO here from Game Ward, but Horizon are still playing off the low ground. If they drop down, they're going to be put into the line of sight of Horizon.
3 squads left. One of them is a rat. It'll be a 3v3v1. The rat is called out. He'll get taken out momentarily. It's Light. See you later. Oh, the team firing is there, and LFO is out. So it all comes down to Horizon versus Game Ward. We know how good Game Ward are in these 3v3 fights. We know that Horizon is not a fighting team. They're more of a placement team. They have crypto to their name. By team composition, based on the situation, you got to think this is Game Ward's game.
There was one more rat. It's actually going to be Rugby from Na'Vi. He got it to the high ground. He's taking a nice little cheeky angle. He needs to drop from the high ground, though, and the circle's taking too much damage. Game Ward are your other winners after taking game number 3. They take another game to their name, game number 6.
And what a finish that was, Vicky. Game Ward does it in game 3. Well, guess what? They're all about the bookends. They do it again in game number